Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Claire. Welcome to Barre. I'm going to go ahead and read the waiver and then give you a quick introduction if you're new to Barre. So, in order to make these classes as freely accessible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure that you have moved nearby furniture and other potential hazards. If you are participating in a yoga class or class that involves laying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. You're not using your body, so welcome to Barre. Barre is a combination of yoga, Pilates, and ballet. We target smaller muscle groups with low weight movements and pulsing to give you a nice, well-rounded workout. So starting out, we're just going to give a nice bend in our legs. We're just going to start by rolling our shoulders back and rolling our shoulders forward. If you guys have any questions throughout the class, feel free to use our chat function. Privately message me or do it to the group if you have any issues with the recording or anything like that. All right, giving a nice slight stretch in that neck, tugging on your head, just nice and slight to give it a little hello this afternoon, and stretch. I know I usually say good morning, so I'm gonna try and be good and remember it's afternoon. All right, giving a nice other big roll of those shoulders and stretching your arm across from your body, making sure you're not grabbing the joint of your elbow, but in front of or behind it, giving a nice stretch, and then switching hands. Just waking up our arms, some nice stretching, and then we'll get our heart rate raised. Bringing your arms behind your back, linking them together, and then flipping your palm inside out, just giving your chest a nice opening, and if you want, bringing those arms down with a nice bend in those legs to give it a full opening. Just letting yourself hang down a bit. Maybe bending one leg and straightening the other. And coming back up. All right, we're gonna do a movement that is slightly inspired by modern dance. And by slightly, I mean wholly. So we're gonna start by bringing our arms above our head with a nice bend in those legs, dropping your body over your legs, brushing your hands across the ground, and coming up. So you bring your arms down behind you and up. Just a nice rhythmic movement. And we're gonna give you the option to add a little jump in, but first we're just gonna get comfortable with this. Adding a nice bounce in those legs, looking at those arms, those feet. If you have music playing, going with the beat. If not, make your own beat like I'm doing by brushing the ground. All right, last one, and then we're gonna add in a hop if you would like. So next time you come down, jumping up with the straight legs bent, or straight legs beneath you, pointed toes. Bend over, jump, and up. Pointing those legs, making sure that when you land, your legs are bent. So you have a nice grounded plie to make sure we're protecting those joints as we raise our heart rate. Used to do this move all the time when I did modern dance. I found it really fun. Just fling your body back. We'll do two more. Last one. Coming up. Whew, my heart rate is raised. All right. Bringing your arms, your legs into first position, making a nice V with those feet, not super turned out, making sure you're comfortable. Now you want to have your hips square, picturing if you had two spotlights on them, it'd be facing in front of you. We're just going to start with a nice plie. When you make this plie, you make a diamond shape and zip your legs back up. Having a neutral spine, making sure that your glutes aren't tucked out or in. Once you get comfortable with this, we're going to add on. So plie, straightening those legs, come up into releve, lifting those ankles off the ground, and lower. Plie and releve. Now, if you want, we're gonna add in some ballet arms. So Plie arms down, bring up to center, rise above you, center, lower. Just getting comfortable with our arms and our legs. Pretending we're ballerinas this afternoon. All right, I'm gonna do a few more. Good job. Shooting our leg up into second position, we're going to do some second position plies. So similar positioning, you want your hips square towards the front, and you want a neutral spine, meaning your glutes aren't tucked in or out, just neutral. We're going to plie and straighten. Plie and straighten. We're going to be doing a good amount of second position plies today, so make sure you're getting comfortable with the positioning as we bring our heart rate up. Maybe adding a little lyricalness. Lyrical is a style of ballet or dance. So pretty arms as you float up and down, bring that heart rate up. All right, staying down, I'm going to explain to you our next move. We're going to combine those two movements into a ballet squat. So we're going to come into second position, and then you'll have the option to jump into first, keeping that plie positioning, and then jumping out into second. Just always staying in plie. If you're looking for a low impact option, just simply walk in and out. If not, we're going to start jumping. Ready? Plie, first and second. Bring your arms in front of you and then to this side. Going at whatever pace you like. Maybe going a little bit deeper in that second position, grand plie. Really activate those glutes. Good. Waking up everything. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Coming back into first, beginning our breath. We're going to stretch our arms out in front of us. Plie, stretch to the other side. So stretching your arms, one on top, one on the bottom. Just waking up that core. And those legs a little bit while regaining our breath. All right. Last one. Good. Coming back into a parallel position, we're going to wake up our legs a little bit more with some running man workout. So we're going to tap our leg behind us like so, with a bend in that standing leg, bringing it to our side, tapping out and in, and adding in some running arms. Now you can keep it at this pace, or to really get that heart rate skyrocketing, you can do double time. Have music, doing it to the beat of that is always fun, or just making sure you're doing double time for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping in that plie position, we're just going to repeat it on the opposite leg. For me, that's my left leg. So bringing your left leg straight up behind you, tapping that toe, bringing it in and out to the side, and adding in those running arms, picturing you're about to go off and sprint in a race. And if you want, we're going to go double time. So just slightly faster to really get that heart rate going. I'm feeling mine raise. I don't know about you guys. We're going to go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Take a minute, regain your breath. We're going to quickly stretch out our legs before going onto the floor to do a little bit more of a workout. So, crossing your leg over your standing leg with a nice flexed foot, we're just going to bend down into a chair position to really stretch out that glute. If you're struggling to balance, point to somewhere in the room with your eyes and fix it on that. Just focus on a certain point in the room. That'll help you balance. Deepening that stretch and coming back up to stretch. Left leg crosses over right, flexed foot, and come down to that chair position, picking a point in the room to focus on as we stretch. Good. Coming back up, we're going to transition to the side. You want your right foot in front of your left foot, like so, hips square towards the side. Once again, picturing those spotlights. We're going to plie down into a lunge position, having that knee above your front leg, knee above your toe, making sure that your hips are squared towards the front, lifting those arms up above your head, deepening into that stretch, and lowering those arms down to the sides of your legs. One on each side of your foot, deepening into that stretch a bit, lifting your right arm to deepen into that stretch, lowering it back down, coming back up into that runner's lunge, lifting those arms. We're going to transition into warrior two. So transition your legs, so your left leg is now bent, right leg is straight, arms out to the side, and just lean down. Pulsing slightly down, hips square. Coming back up. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So shifting your legs in front of you. This time left leg in front of your right, hips square towards the side of the room. You're going to bend down to a nice deep lunge. You want your left knee above your ankle, weight evenly distributed onto your toes. Once you feel comfortable, lifting those arms up above your head, deepening into that stretch, and then lowering them for one hand on each side of your foot, lifting your left arm to deepen the stretch. Oh, one of my favorite stretches. Coming back down, lifting your arms up, and transitioning to a warrior pose. So right leg this time bent, left leg straightened, and we're just going to lean into that stretch a little bit. Deepening. Good. All right, bringing your legs together, we're going to walk down our mat. So shoot your arms over your head, collapse your body over your feet, bend your right knee, then your left knee, walking your hands out into a plank position. For a plank position, you want a straight line from your shoulders to your wrists. You want your core engaged, flat back, making sure that you're not drooping down, but keeping that nice engaged core. Once you feel comfortable here, shooting your hips back into a downward dog. Walking out the dog by bending one leg and then the other, deepening that stretch. Now bending both your legs into a nice deep stretch and straightening. Once again, deep bend both legs and straighten. One more time. Good. Coming back into that plank position, I want you to slowly lower yourself down towards the ground, keeping your arms hugged towards your side until you're laying on the ground. Using your hands by your shoulders, push your upper body up into a nice stretch. Stretching out that core a little bit before we get started. Bringing your legs back, we're going to quickly go into child's pose just to stretch out those arms and those legs. All right, shooting back into that plank position, keeping your knees on the ground. We're going to finish up our warm-up by doing 10 clean push-ups to transition us fully into the arm section. For these push-ups, you have the option to have your knees on the ground, or you can straighten your legs and lift them. We're just going to do 10 clean push-ups, shooting your arms out towards the side, keeping that core engaged and straightening. Bringing yourself as low to the ground as you can. Once you're in that position, we're going to go down for 10. Straighten. 9. Straighten. 8. Straighten. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good work, everyone. As you can see, warm-ups take a lot of work, and sometimes you can transition halfway through to that different option if that's what you want. So take a minute. You want, grab some water. We're going to transition into our arms portion. We'll be standing the entire time, so you can go ahead and stand on your mat. I'm going to grab a quick sip of water and grab my weights just so I have those when we transition into our weight portion of the arms workout. But first, we're going to use our body weight a bit. So once you feel like you regained your breath, we're going to go into first some tricep pulses and then some other lifted arm movements. Starting in this position, I want to have your legs shoulder distance apart, parallel position, slight bend in those legs like this. You want to have a flat back tilted 45 degrees, and you want to look 3 to 4 feet in front of you. You're going to bring your arms straight, making a straight line from your shoulder to your arm by your sides, palms facing up away from your body. Once we are in this position, we're just going to start pulsing up. These are called tricep pulses. Often we can do these with weights, but we can definitely do them without weights and still feel the workout. I'm already starting to feel that burn. Just pulsing up and down, up and down. Feeling that in the back of our arms, our triceps, trying to keep them even as we pulse up. Making sure you're keeping that correct positioning in your body. Flat back, looking 3 to 4 feet in front of you. Pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping your arms up. You're just going to bring your arms to the center, touching your thumbs together, out, pulse up. Touch your thumbs together, pulse up. So you're just tightening your shoulder blades a bit, picturing you have a pencil in between them, and then pulsing up. Just a different workout, still really burning out those triceps. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take a minute, roll out your shoulders. We're gonna keep our arms lifted for a good portion of time. So take a minute, regain your breath. Starting up, since this is a party kind of, or having a fitness class can be a party, we're gonna raise the roof. So, so we're going to bend our arms, nice 90-degree bend on each of them. Face your palms up towards the ceiling. Give your knees a nice slight bend. You're just gonna pulse up like you're raising the roof. Yep, this is it. It's crazy how just small movements can really burn out those arms. Maybe going to the beat. You recognize the song from the movie, thinking of that movie scene. It's almost the end of summer, kind of, depending on, I mean, not the actual season of summer, but our summer. If you're going back to school, it's coming close to an end. All right, we're gonna pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping those arms up, we're just gonna bring them out towards our sides with a slight bend in our arms, just a slight bend, palms facing up. We're just going to pulse up. Keeping a bend in those legs. It's kind of just also like a dance move. Really, you can whip out any of these moves on the dance floor whenever dance floors are a thing again. It's a slightly different raising the roof. Good. Feeling that burn. Thanking your body for being able to do all that it does. Thanking yourself for coming to class today. I know during these arm workouts it can be like, why am I doing this? But the body will thank you. You'll feel great. You'll have a nice, great workout for your day. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping those arms bent. We're just going to start doing some circles. So drawing a circle with those arms. Now we're working out those shoulders a bit, keeping that nice slight bend. Oh boy, I am feeling this burn. If at any point you need to drop your hands and just shake them out a minute, totally normal, totally fine. This is your body and your workout, so whatever feels right for today is totally fine with you. It is up to you and only you. All right, switching directions. Whew. I always find that switching directions to be some of the most killer moments. Just I think your arms are your muscles are like, what's happening? I'm used to going this other way. All right, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep straightening your arms. This is the last part of this workout, I promise. We're going to show off our muscles by flexing our biceps, giving a nice squeeze, and straightening. Pretending like maybe if you're listening to the movies, feel like you're Rocky or Hercules. Just showing off those muscles. Since we don't have weights, you're really creating your own tension. So really giving your biceps a nice squeeze. So we straighten and lower. Adding in a nice plie just to get the heart going. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower your arms, roll them out. Give yourself a nice moment to breathe in. Whew. If you want, go ahead and grab those light hand weights or cans of beans like I have. My favorite. I'll be actually cooking these up for dinner later. We're gonna go start with some vertical and horizontal raises. So facing your palms towards your body, giving a nice slight bend in those legs, neutral spine. You're going having a slight bend in those arms. Just going to lift those weights, making a straight line from your shoulder to your wrist, facing those palms up, opening them out to a horizontal butterfly position, closing them in, flipping those palms down, and lowering. Straightening up, flipping palms to the sides, opening, and closing. What's really important for these is to make sure you're not dropping at any point. The slower you go, the more work it does for your muscles, especially when you're lifting those and closing in and out. We're working our chest as well as our shoulders. I like combining some movements like this. I think it just gives you a more well-rounded workout. We'll do 4 more. 3, 2, last one. 1. Good job. All right, coming into a second position, going to learn our alphabet. I always say this a bit. We're going to do W's and M's. If you've done my classes before, you might recognize these. If not, no worries. You're going to keep your elbows right by the sides of your body, kind of gluing them towards them, coming into a second position plie, just to keep those legs a little bit activated, holding those cans of beans or those weights. You're just going to lift, arching your arms, making a nice M shape, picturing a pencil, and you're drawing them out. Once again, what's important here is that control. We're not using heavy weights here, so it's really your own resistance that you create with your muscles squeezing up and down that really activates you, gets you that nice arm workout. It's finding my legs are already starting to burn a bit too, and we haven't even done the bar portion. It's crazy how that works. All right, last 2, and we're gonna do our W's. Last one. Good. Bring your arms in, keeping them at your sides. We're just going to keep them a little bit lifted, lower them down, scooping them up into a W position. W for Wumbo. That's a reference for you SpongeBob kids. Or M for Mumbo. Sorry, maybe too niche. where my mind goes. We'll do a few more here, really creating your own tension. And then we'll transition into our last movement of our arms workout. All right, last one. All right, good job. We're going to finish this out by burning out our back. So coming back into that position we started our arms workout in, bending those legs at a nice slight bend, straight back, 45-degree tilt, looking 3 to 4 feet in front of you. We're just going to do slightly different by now drawing a straight line from your elbows to your, from your shoulders to your wrist. We're just going to squeeze in, pretending that we're rowing our arms back as we pull them in. What will help you here really burn out your back is picturing that you have a pencil between your shoulder blades. And every time you pull your arms back, you're squeezing that pencil to keep it in place. Squeezing up and lowering. Picturing, creating your own tension. Maybe pretending there's strings or ropes on the end of your fingers. Don't drop your stuff on your toes as you pull back. We're going to do 4 more and then add on just to finish off our burnout. 2, 1, stay up. You're just going to pulse up. So you want your weights right by your chest. So you pulse up, squeezing that pencil, your shoulder blades together, picturing that pencil for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. That finishes up our arms workout. Go ahead and grab a quick sip of water. Let go of your weights. We won't need them for the rest of the class. Grab a sip of water and go ahead and grab whatever you're using to rest on during the bar portion of our workout. For me, that is this lovely chair. So today's our bar workout will be combining a bunch of things. We're going to do a whole set on one side with our left leg out and our right arm on the bar. You can switch if you want, but we're just going to switch to the other side to do the entire set again, just to keep you on your toes and not have things go on for too long. All right, starting out, we're going to go into second position. So once again, picturing those spotlights on those hips, shooting your legs out a little bit more than shoulder distance apart, keeping a nice little rest on that chair or bench or whatever you're using. Just start out by going to second position and straightening. Just getting used to the movement again. You're targeting your arms a lot, so it might feel a little bit weird to be not focusing on your legs. All right, now that we're comfortable with this, we're going to add on. You can stay on the ground, or if you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge today, raise your feet up into releve, keeping in that second position, and we're just going to do the full-on plies again. So straightening out and straightening your legs, staying in releve the whole time, keeping that position of nice neutral spine. So once again, sliding up and down a wall, using that chair for balance as we straighten those legs and lower. If it's too much on your ankles, totally fine. Just go back down into a traditional second position plie. 4 more here, and we're going to add on a bit. 4, 3, 2, last one. Staying down, we're just going to go halfway up and all the way down. Halfway up and all the way down. So playing around in that mid-range. My legs are shaking. I don't know about yours. Totally normal, especially when you're in this mid-range of motion. Your muscles really aren't used to staying here for long periods of time. Whew, shaky. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Pulse down for 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straightening those legs, finish with 4 full plies again. Last one. Good. Coming back down, we're going to stay in this position and do what I like to call a barre assemblée. Assemblée is a ballet move that I've reworked and is now a barre move. So coming into that second position, you're going to come up and shift your weight onto your standing leg only. So keeping those hips square, flexing that lifted foot, crossing in front, try and picture you're tapping your ankle of that lifted leg to the toe of your standing one, and coming back down into second position. Lifting, cross. This is working both your glutes as well as your inner thighs when you do that assemblée. Making sure you're having a flexed foot as you come up and coming fully down in that nice ground plie. Maybe going a little bit deeper next time you go down to really wake up those legs. Cross and lower. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Good mom, good work. Take a minute. Take a breath as I demonstrate to you guys our next move. It's a little bit complicated, but you'll pick it up very quickly. So coming into first position, we're going to, so having a nice V in those legs. Tendu, your foot straight out in front of you, turned out, meaning your knee is facing away from your body, hips are still square. Now, to get into attitude, all you're going to do is bend that leg slightly, keeping those hips square and that leg turned out, meaning the knee is facing away from you, the inside of that knee is facing up towards the ceiling. All right, once you're comfortable with this, what we're going to do is just lift that leg in attitude up to it for a kick and lower. So keeping that leg bent, picturing there's almost a string on that inside of your knee. So you lower, keeping that toe below your leg at all times, making sure that it's not coming above it. Keeping those hips square, making sure you're not tilting in or out. Very deliberate lifts and lower. If you have any questions, feel free to chat. I know this is a little bit more of a complicated move. I'm going to do 8 more and then pulse it up. 7, 6, 5, keeping a bend in that standing leg. 3, 2, 1, pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, picturing that string. 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew, my leg is feeling it. We're going to repeat that, this time towards the back. So straightening that leg out, still turned out, meaning now the outside of your knee is facing up towards the ceiling, like so. Keeping those hips square towards the front, meaning, once again, picturing the spotlights, adding in a nice bend in that leg, like so. Once again, just same thing, now facing the back. Going to lift and lower. String this time on the outside of your knee, making sure that toe is still lower than the knee. I'll show you on the side. Lower, making sure that you're not pitching yourself forward, keeping that upper body nice and lifted. Really using the inside of that glute to lift the leg up and down. Feel free to put both hands on the bar if you would like for this back portion. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, using that glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Take a moment, regain your breath. We're going to repeat all of that on the other side, but we're gonna break that up a bit by putting both hands on the bar and doing some more leg work. So with both legs on the bar, you're going to straighten your left leg, for me, with your right leg, out in front of you with a nice pointed foot, slight bend in that standing leg. Once you're ready with this, I'm just going to kick that leg back and lower, really lifting it up from your upper thigh into your glute, making sure to not pitch forward, just arabesque. Also picturing the spotlights on your hips to make sure those knees are square. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. We're just gonna pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping that leg up, cross it behind you. Cross it from that standing leg to tap that toe on the ground, lift, and tap out. Drawing a rainbow with that toe. Really doing what we call the overload principle. Just really burning out that glute, that standing glute, and that lifted one. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Take a moment, regain your breath. We're gonna repeat that on the other leg and then switch to the opposite arm to repeat that entire section we did before. All right, within slight bend and then opposite leg. For me, that is my left leg. Bringing your back leg straight behind you into arabesque, lifting up and lowering. Once again, making sure you're not pitching forward, keeping a lifted upper body, lifting that leg from your upper thigh into that glute. Keeping those hips square, slight bend in standing leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping that leg lifted. Cross it from that standing leg. Tap, lift, and lower to draw that rainbow. Good work. Can't see you guys, but I know you're working hard. You're with me here today, doing whatever feels right for your body. For 4 more. 2, 1. Whew, good job. I'm gonna move my bar so I can continue to see, you guys can continue to see me. We're going to switch into our opposite arm to do second position plie set. Once again, a little daunting, I know, but we got it. Then we'll be done with our bar workout to transition into our lower body and core and stretching, my favorite part. So coming into second position, getting comfortable with that second position plie again. We'll do a few less this time just because I think we know how to do this movement. So if you're ready, next time you come up, lifting those legs into releve, lifting those ankles off the ground, maybe bringing your legs slightly more in, but keeping that second positioning. You're just going to plie and straighten. Feeling on your glutes as you lift up, keeping that core engaged, making sure you're not tucking in or out those glutes. A few more here. Don't know where you guys are at quite yet in the playlist if you're listening to it, but maybe it'll give you a movie to watch tonight. Last one. Staying down, we're gonna go halfway up to the mid-range and all the way down. Halfway up, all the way down. Feeling that shaking in your legs. If you're having it, completely normal, to be expected. Feeling that shaking, embracing it, Just means your muscles are working. Last 2, 1, and pulse down for 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten and do 4 full. Just to really burn out those legs. Last 1. Good. Staying in second position, we're going to transition into our bar ensemble. So coming into that second position once again, feeling comfortable. When you come up, shifting that weight to your standing leg, making sure you're not popping that hip out, keeping it nice and square, flexing that lifted foot to cross in front, tapping your ankle, your heel to your toe, and coming back into second. Maybe repositioning however you would like to make sure that you're getting the most. So squeeze using the inner thigh to cross and lower. Inner thigh engages. You can add in arms if you would like. Maybe going a little bit deeper into the grand plie for the last 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. We are almost done with our bar portion. We're going to do our attitude kicks, and then we will be done with the standing bar. So I know this was a lot, so good job, everyone. So coming into that first position, heels together, we're going to tendu your standing foot in front of you, keeping a nice straight leg, and then once you feel comfortable, making sure your hips are aligned, you're going to bend that leg, keeping it turned out inside of your knee, facing up towards the ceiling. With a slight bend in that standing foot, we're just going to lift and lower. This might feel slightly easier or slightly harder than the other side. That is completely normal. Your body it tends to work out or use one side a little bit more. So often we'll feel a little bit different on every side that we use. I'm gonna pretend I'm a ventriloquist dummy, lifting my leg from that inner knee and lowering for 4, 3, we're gonna stay up, 2, 1, pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering that leg, shooting it behind you to a nice tendu behind you now, keeping those hips square. Once again, like I said before, if you would like, you can shift to having both hands on the bar for a little bit added balance here, but just make sure you're not leaning over the bar. With a nice slight bend in that standing foot, you're going to bend that leg into attitude. Now the outside of your knee, so it's going up towards the ceiling, we're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Using that inside, using that glute to lift it up, making sure you're not pitching forward and lower. If you're feeling any strain in your lower back, maybe lower your foot a little bit every time you lift it, making sure you're not overworking or straining yourself for 4, 3, we're almost done, 2, 1, this time lift up, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Take a moment, maybe stretch out your legs, bending over, bending one leg, then the other. Oh, for some nice stretches. All right, now transitioning to the mat. We're going to finish up our legs and then transition into our core workout before going into our stretching. So coming down flat on your back, we're going to do some glute bridges to finish up our leg workout. So lying flat on your back, you want your lower back pressed against the ground. Make sure it's engaged. bring your arms to your sides. If you have those light hand weights and want to, you can rest them right there on your hip bones, but totally up to you. We're just going to lift those glutes, making a straight line from your shoulders, from your hips to your knees, lifting up and lowering down. Lifting and lowering, looking straight in front of you. If you're looking for a little bit of an added workout, just don't rest when you come down. Hover above the ground and raise back up. Really burning out those glutes today. A few more. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna stay up and we're just gonna pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Take a minute, regain your breath. We're gonna do that one more time and then transition into our core workout. All right, coming back up, we're gonna do 20 glute bridges and then pulse up again. Lower. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull us up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good work. Take a minute, regain your breath. We're going to transition into a plank position to start our core workout. So if you need a sip of water, feel free to grab one. I will give you a minute as we transition into our core workout. All right, so coming onto a plank position, you're gonna have a straight line from your shoulders to your wrists, fingers evenly spread out to distribute that weight. You're gonna have your feet straight out in front of you, nice flat back, engaged core. What you're going to do is cross, take your right leg, cross it to your left elbow with a slight twist in that oblique and straighten, and switch legs. So just twisting your core just a little bit. You bring that leg in, so twist and straighten, twist. Whew, feeling that all around our core. Nice full core workout. Lower. We are so close to the end of this workout. You guys have been great. Make sure you stay for the stretching. Stretching is just as important as the rest of your workout. Last 2. Last 1. Good job. Take a moment, regain your breath. Whew. We're going to finish off with some side planks to really burn out those obliques, and then we'll transition to work out our core a little bit more before our flex, our stretching. So coming into a plank position, you'll have a few options here. You can be up on your wrist, though I know we've been doing a lot on our wrist, so I recommend that you come down onto your forearm just to alleviate some of the pressure from your wrist. Now for your plank position, you have a few options. You can come up on your knees with your bottom leg bent, resting on the ground, or you can lift your legs, having one stacked in front of the other. What we're going to do, you can straighten that top arm or keep on your hip. We're just gonna pulse down and up, dipping that hip and lifting it up. We're gonna do 20 full. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. I'm gonna lower that knee. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down. I'm sweaty, you guys. We're gonna transition onto our other side. I'm gonna switch to the opposite side of the mat just so you can still see me. Making sure you match whatever you do on the other side. So if you did like I did, 10 up and then 10 in the modified position, mimicking that so we have an even workout. So coming up into that plank, side plank position, we're gonna burn out those obliques by dipping that hip towards the ground and lifting for 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Drop those hips. Transition onto your back. We're going to do some ballet or Pilates sit-ups, straightening those arms out in front of you, straightening them above your head, curving your head up, then your shoulders, then your back vertebra by vertebra, stacking on top of each other until you are in a seated position with a nice flat back, flexed feet, so you can stretch forward a bit, and then begin to lower, keeping that flat back until you're about 45 degrees, and then beginning to curve that spine, stacking each vertebra on top of each other, then your shoulders, and then your elbows. And we're just going to keep doing this, making sure that you're not using momentum to get you up, but you're really engaging that core to lower and raise yourself. That'll really give you a nice full core workout. This is just a slightly different way to do your sit-ups, keeping those legs straight in front of you and lowering. Lift, keeping cognizant of your breath as you lower and raise. I'll do 4 more. If you guys ever have any questions, if you're listening to the playlist and you're like, hey, what movie did this song come from? Feel free to ask me. I'm a big movie nerd, so I hopefully can answer them if I put them on that playlist. All right, we're going to straighten down, bringing our arms down, our hands now to our temples. We're going to work out our abs a little bit more, straightening that, keeping your legs straight, but straight on the ground, sorry. You're going to curve your spine up, making a basket with your hands to lift that leg. And with a twist, you're going to lift one leg, bringing that knee to shoulder and straightening out. And then switching. Now, you can rest on the ground, or if you're looking for a little bit of an added workout, just keep that leg, that head off the ground, lifted, to keep that core engaged. And now for our little burnout here, we're just going to keep our legs lifted too, straightening out and stretching for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Good job. We are almost done with our core workout. We are going to finish up with some butterfly kicks to really burn out that lower core. So straightening your legs up and just lowering them to the ground, keeping your back nice and flat on the ground, your lower back engaged up until you feel like you can lift them. And we're going to butterfly kick for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Bring those legs in, hug them to your body. That finishes up our work of today's class. The rest of today's class will be a cool down portion, a nice stretch for today. Regaining that breath. Breathing in and out. Hugging one leg in, straightening the other. Rolling that ankle. Regaining your breath from today's workout. and switch that direction of that twist. Towards the end of that playlist, if you're listening, there's some calmer music you would like to set the mood for today's cool down. Taking that right hand, if your left leg is twisted or your right leg is up, twisting it across your body, shooting that knee towards the ground, keeping those shoulders planted, giving yourself a nice little twist like a pretzel. Coming back up, bringing that right leg in one last time, and then shooting out the left foot. Rolling that ankle, opposite direction. Taking that hand, pushing that knee across your body towards the ground, keeping those shoulders planted for a nice twist. Breathing in and breathing out. Coming back to the center, you're going to do one of my favorite stretches, the happy baby stretch. So grabbing your heels right where they are, opening up those hips with a nice flex foot, just rock back and forth. Pretending you're a happy baby. No cares in the world. Few more rocks. Good job. Straightening your legs out in front of you, rolling those hands up into a nice seated position. Taking that right leg, stacking it on top of your left one, and just doing a nice twist, keeping that elbow on the outside of your leg or your knee to do a nice twist of the body. And then switching sides. Feeling that nice stretch, breathing into it, deepening the stretch. Straightening those legs with a nice flexed foot, bringing your arms down in front of you, touching your toes if you can. However deep you can go is fine. Just leaning into that stretch. Breathe in, and exhale, go a little bit deeper in. Breathe in, and a little bit deeper this time. Last one. Bringing your legs into a butterfly position. Feet planted together. And just flap those butterfly wings a bit. Good. Roll those shoulders up towards the back. And then roll them forwards. Planting your feet on the ground, you're going to just switch your weight a little bit, rolling your legs up into a nice rolled over positioning. Shooting that left leg out into a lunge, a low runner's lunge, like we did in the warm up. Deeply breathing into that stretch. Bringing it back up into a hamstring stretch, just like the warm up. Rubbing the back of your leg, and then bringing them back together. Now shooting that right leg out into a low runner's lunge for a nice stretch. Breathing into it, deepening it. And then coming up into that hamstring stretch, rubbing the back of your leg. Saying thank you. And then bringing your legs together to roll up into standing. Stacking vertebrae on top of each vertebra till you're on your head. Facing the side of the front now. Bring your arm behind your head, walking your fingers down your back. Push down slightly for a nice slight stretch. And then switch hands. Walking those fingers down that back again. Bringing that arm out in front of you, palm facing away. Pull slightly on those fingers. And slight stretch. Flipping it upside down. Doing the same thing. Switching hands. Face down. Bring your leg behind you for another hamstring stretch. Slight bend of that knee, regaining your balance, bringing your knees together. Bringing that, you're tilting your pelvis forward to really just deepen that stretch in your hamstring. And switch legs. Grabbing your toes, tilting your pelvis forward to deepen that stretch. All right, finishing up. Breathing in. Exhaling, bringing your arms above your head. Another breath in, thanking your body for all you did today. The workout you did, whatever else you did today. You came here, you challenged yourself, and you thanked yourself. Last breath. Bring your arms together to heart center. All right, that finishes up our class. I'm going to stop the video now, but you can feel free to stay, ask me any questions that you would like.